What's going on, guys? Victor here with a brand new video, and I'm going to talk about the co-main event of this Saturday's fight night from the UFC Apex facility out of Las Vegas, Nevada, and it's going to be a good night. Like I said, the main event is going to be Robert Whittaker versus Calvin Gastelum, a fight in the making. I believe it's been 2 to 3 years in the making. These guys were supposed to fight each other in Australia a couple years back. Robert Whittaker had to pull out at the very last minute. So I'm going to talk about the co-main event on that night, which is going to be absolute fireworks. This is an MMA fan's dream match. It definitely has the making of being a main event, but to be honest, it had to be the co-main event for this Saturday. I'm going to be talking about the return of one of the fan favorites in the UFC on all of mixed martial arts as well. I'm talking about Jeremy Heathen Stevens. Yes, Jeremy Stevens is coming back. He is 28 and 18 in his mixed martial arts career. He's been with the UFC ever since the age of 21. Now he's 34. He's been with the UFC forever, man. Absolutely forever. And then you've got his opponent on the other side, the 11 and 2 Drakkar Klose. Both these guys love to bring it. These guys go balls to the wall. These guys are always looking to rough their opponents up. They're always looking for the finish, always looking for the knockout, and they never words can't even explain because these guys never lighten up whenever they're inside of the octagon, especially Jeremy Stevens, because 19 of his 28 wins have been by KO. And if I'm Jeremy Stevens, I'm going to look for the KO. I'm going to look for the emphatic finish as fast as possible because his career with the UFC is on the line. He has lost 4 out of his last 5 fights. And the reason why he hasn't lost 5 of his last 5 fights is because one of those fights ended in a tie because of an accidental eye poke against Yair Rodriguez when those guys were supposed to fight in Mexico. The fight ended in the first round because Yair poked Jeremy Stevens. Jeremy Stevens couldn't even look or see straight. So obviously they had to rebook that fight for UFC Fight Night Boston. And unfortunately he lost that fight. So he's going to be looking for a W because he hasn't had one in a very long time. His last fight was in 2020, the very first event in 2020 in Jacksonville, Florida against Calvin Kattar. He got knocked out in the second round, and that whole entire week wasn't going so smoothly for him because he did lose weight. Obviously, Jeremy Stevens has been fighting in the featherweight division for a very long time. He came into the UFC as a lightweight, went down because he thought he'd be able to have an easier time winning the title than there, but never got a chance to fight for that title. He was in the rankings for a very, very long time, basically being in and out of the top 5, but like I said, with this recent streak of bad luck, he decided to go up in weight to fight Drakkar Klose. And Drakkar Klose has about 4 knockouts and he's 11 wins in his mixed martial arts career. So someone's definitely going to be finished in this fight. I can't see it going the full distance. That would be absolutely insane. And both these guys, I want to say it's going to be on the floor the whole time, but knowing Drakkar, he's definitely going to try to take it to the ground. And Drakkar's last loss was against Beneil Dariush. He was trying to go in there for the finish because he had Beneil hurt, and then Beneil was able to hurt him back and knock him out with emphatic fashion. That fight definitely had the makings to be an instant classic until that finish. But like I said, both these fighters are very, very dangerous. Both these fighters are very aggressive inside of the octagon. And both these fighters have a lot of power that they're always packing. Both of them also belong to very good MMA gyms in the United States of America. Obviously, Drakkar Klose trains in MMA Lab in Phoenix, Arizona. And then you got Jeremy Stevens, who trains in Alliance MMA in San Diego, California. One of his main training partners is the former UFC bantamweight champion of the world, Dominic Cruz. They've been stable mates for a very, very long time, basically training with one another, hard training, light training. It is what it is. Both those guys have been with each other through thick and thin. And then you got Drakkar Klose, one of his main mentors is Benson Henderson, who used to be one of the best pound for pound fighters in the whole entire world during his time with the UFC as the UFC lightweight champion of the world after beating Frankie Edgar to attain that title. So definitely 2 guys that are very well-rounded mixed martial artists coming out of 2 very well-known mixed martial arts gyms in the world. And if you look at this fight, there's no way there can't be a finish in this fight. Jeremy Stevens is going up in weight, so he's not going to have that much trouble trying to make that weight to begin with, and he's going to be packing more power now that he has more weight to put on. So it's absolutely this fight is going to be fireworks. I think both these guys are going to go after it from the very beginning. Drakkar Klose has already said that he wants to knock out Jeremy Stevens. Jeremy Stevens already wants to knock out Drakkar Klose. He's been wanting to knock him out ever since this fight was announced a couple months back. And like I said, this is going to be most likely one of the last fight nights, if not the beginning of the end of having these fight nights in the UFC Apex facility, because we're going to have fans back. Next week is going to be UFC 261 in the in the ViStar Memorial Arena in Jacksonville, Florida. 15,000 in attendance. It's going to be a full crowd. And then UFC 262 in the Honda Center in Houston, Texas. That's going to be, it's either the Honda, actually no, it's the Toyota Center in Houston, Texas. It's going to be 17,000 strong, all jam-packed inside of that arena. So, like I said, we're starting to get the fans back. And if the UFC becomes successful getting these fans back, then it means that it's going to be an end to having these fight nights and these pay-per-views without any fans. So I'm very excited for the near future for what the UFC has to hold. I wish this fight could have been on one of those pay-per-views, because it would have been absolutely electrifying. But it's going to be this Saturday at the UFC Apex facility. But someone is going to sleep. Someone's going to be finished. And if I'm Jeremy Stevens, throw the leg kicks. He definitely had a good amount of success throwing those leg kicks. And these are the leg kicks, the calf kicks against Calvin Kattar when they fought. I believe that Drakkar Klose isn't really going to check any of them. If I'm Drakkar Klose, I'm just going to grapple right off the bat, get Jeremy Stevens against the fence, try to rake his head against the fence, make it an ugly fight. Definitely throw some flying shoulders in there, some knees, some foot stomps, anything to make it an ugly fight. If I'm Jeremy Stevens, get those underhooks in there, reverse, and just try to tee off with some body shots. That's another thing with Drakkar Klose. If I'm him, work combinations to the body, because Jeremy Stevens has been dropped a couple of times with body shots. He got hit with a body kick against Jair Rodriguez, that dropped him, and then he got hit with a liver shot against Jose Aldo, that dropped him. So if I'm Drakkar Klose, you gotta go to the body, because Jeremy Stevens is soft there. I don't know if he's gonna be soft there still, because he's going up a weight class and he's gonna be feeling a whole lot rejuvenated, a whole lot better. It always has to do with the weight cuts. If you're having a very poor weight cut, then your body isn't going to be at its absolute best when it comes to fight night. But if you're having a good weight cut and you're not cutting as much weight and you're doing as much as possible to better yourself, then your body is going to be at peak performance. But like I said, if I'm Drakkar Klose, I'm the person that's been at this weight class for a very, very long time. I'm the person that's most accustomed to this weight class out of the two fighters. So I'm going to bring it to Jeremy Stevens as fast as possible. And if I'm Drakkar Klose, throw some leg kicks. Throw some leg kicks in there. And also, because Jeremy Stevens doesn't like to get hit in the calf. When Calvin Kattar started hitting Jeremy Stevens in the calf, Jeremy was starting to feel it right off the bat. I believe he switched stance because of how bad he was getting. So definitely throw those leg kicks in there too. And throw some head kicks. If he can probably catch Jeremy Stevens with a head kick, he might be wobbled. If I'm Jeremy Stevens, like I said, don't go for that one solo punch to end the fight. Throw in a jab followed by the cross, or throw in a double jab followed up by the hook. Throw some combinations in there and work the elbows. The elbows are going to be very, very vital when it comes to Jeremy Stevens' performance. And then if I'm Drakkar Klose, keep the movement going no matter what. Keep the feints going. Make sure your opponent is getting tricked by some of your feints, and throw some bombs in there. But like I said, it can't just be one punch. It's got to be multiple punches, because if you're coming in and out with just one jab or just one cross, you're not doing anything at all. If I'm Drakkar Klose, utilize your wrestling. Try to take him down, because he's a wrestler. That's his bread and butter. Try to take down Jeremy Stevens and try to beat him in there with some ground and pound. And if you're going to take something from Calvin Kattar, then maybe sneak in an elbow in there while him and Jeremy Stevens are basically in the state of fisticuffs. When two fighters are going at it, when two fighters are striking at the same time, both of them are going to be open, and someone's going to be susceptible to eating an elbow, eating a right hand, eating whatever. So it's going to be a very interesting fight. And if I'm Jeremy, yet again, You want to be throwing combinations in there. You want to definitely get into your opponent's guard. Make sure they don't have any room whatsoever, because both these guys are very identical when it comes to the age. Jeremy's 34, Drakkar Klose is 33, and that they're very. Everything else is basically virtual identical. This is the perfect match that the UFC could have made for a co-main event on a fight night such as this. Because if you look at the prelims, there's really not that many fighters that really pop out there, that really stick out there, but it doesn't mean it won't be a good fight night. So I'm very interested about this card, and I can't wait to see what happens. Both these guys have cardio tanks for days. They don't really get tired. So the shame it couldn't be a 5-round main event. If the UFC could have made another 5-round non-title co-main event besides the one they're making with Leon Edwards and Nate Diaz, it could have been this one, to be honest. I would have loved it if it could have been this one, because this fight deserves to be 5 rounds, not 3. But I believe there's going to be a finish in this fight, and I believe it's going to be Drakkar Klose. I think Drakkar Klose is going to get that finish. I know Stevens is going up a weight class, but he's just been on a bad streak lately. Like I said, he has lost 4 out of his last 5. It could have easily been 5 out of 5, but it is what it is. We'll see what happens. Drakkar Klose trying to get back into the win column. His last loss was against Beneil Dariush by knockout. So both these guys coming out off of knockouts. Both these guys trying to get a W back in their win column. We'll see what happens, but I'm going with Drakkar Klose. I'm going with a finish, and I believe I'm going to go the first round. First round, Drakkar Klose. And it's going to be because Jeremy Stevens likes to make a lot of mistakes. He's going to commit to a mistake, and Drakkar Klose is going to capitalize on it. And that's basically how the fight's going to end. So if you guys disagree with me, agree with me, let me know in the comment sections. Let me know how you guys think about this fight. Do you think it could have been a 5-round fight, or should it just stay a 3-round fight as it is? Obviously, it is going to be a 3-round fight, but should they have changed it, made it into a 5-round fight? And yeah, that's pretty much it, guys. Appreciate you guys for watching this video. Stay blessed, stay safe, and I hope you guys really enjoy the fights this Saturday. I'm probably going to make one more video, and yeah, I want to make another video about Alexander Romanov, upcoming fighter from Moldova, and it's going to be a good one, guys. It really is. So I'll see you guys in the next video. Take care of yourselves.